Facebook.com/W4Country, YouTube.com/W4Country. Marty, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, boy.
What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Now you sound fine.
That was weird.
You sounded like you were under the sea.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
What are you working on today?
What we want to talk about today? Let's talk. We've done something like this, sort of, but this is a new list. 5 worst reasons to avoid therapy. 5 worst reasons.
Yeah.
Excuses,
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that next.
Lots of people like those.
After Scotty McCreery. It matters to her. It's 102.9 W4 Country in the morning. He hangs up the phone. Good morning, Sarah.
Thanks for joining us.
We appreciate it.
Who we got there? Oh, hi, Sarah.
Boy, Matt's ready to go this morning. Good morning, Matt.
Yeah, I feel like
A lot of exclamation points for so early in the morning.
A lot of O's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet, Kim.
I'm not looking at what people are writing. I need to do that.
Eventually.
What is that thing called? That plume?
What?
Plume?
The plume of poison in Scioto Township.
Oh.
What is that thing called? Is it dioxin? Dioxane plume.
Wait, is this in the news or something? What?
No, I'm just curious.
You just want to say plume.
I want to say plume.
Poisonous plume.
Plume. I feel it in my plumes.
What made you think of that all of a sudden?
I've got, some things.
Some things.
Yeah, that wasn't just out of the blue.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
Dioxane.
Dioxane. 4336. There's lots of stuff going on. Oh, we're almost out of time. Stand by.
Matters to her.
102.9 W4 Country and Scotty McCreery. It matters to her. We got Dr. Marty here for your Monday morning Jumpstart. 5 reasons people avoid therapy.
Yeah, worse reasons too. These aren't good.
Go for it, Marty.
Okay, number 1. I'm too busy. Think about that. What are they telling you? I'm too busy for that.
It's not a priority.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm not a priority, right? I'm last. Right. I mean, everything but me. I'll be at the bottom of that list.
But they do that for everything they don't want to do, even things that are good for them, like exercise. Oh, I'm too busy.
Well, therapy's good
for sure. Yeah,
for sure. People do that for stuff that's good for you. And
I do it for just health, just to maintain health. I mean, maybe I'm more screwed up than I think, but
you for sure are. Yeah,
that has to take a look at someone.
You've got deep emotions giving them to you.
Shows some poor discernment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
screwed up than you think. I can guarantee that, Marty.
We all are. It's hard.
If I'm ever done with therapy, I'm just going to dip my hand in paint and leave it on your front window. All right, what's number 2?
Number 2, there's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah. You'd be the first person in history if that was true.
Right.
That's what I think too. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. And
even when times are good, therapy's helpful.
And I feel like the more people say there's nothing wrong with me, the worse things are wrong with them.
Probably.
Yeah, because they're not seeing it, and sometimes you don't know till you get into the therapy. With like this weekend, I had that. Like something was bothering me. I didn't know, so I just kind of took a mental health day, and I feel a lot better today. But I didn't know until I like sat with. I read some poetry with my son.
What?
That's how I get into my emotions. Sometimes I get locked up, right? And so I have to have something to get it going. Like, remember you? How did I get you on whatever?
The first time I cried was a dog movie.
Yeah, but I had to give you something that would get you into that state, you know?
He told me, he says, you need to cry. And I said, I don't cry. And he says, you need to cry. And I said, Marty, this is years ago. I don't cry. You can't make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a flight from Detroit to Phoenix, and I forget which dog movie. I think it was A Life of a Dog. And
A Dog's Life.
A Dog's Life, yeah. I got ugly crying in the flight. I got to crying to the point I had to go in the bathroom and just lock the door. Just ugly crying on that plane. So we started freaking people out.
But that was years of emotions that were just pent up.
Yeah.
And emotion wants to complete itself. It's like a sneeze, right? You know, it's not very comfortable if you hold back a sneeze. It just intensifies.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of love that feeling.
I like to sneeze. You'd rather like
I like kind of teasing it and waiting. More with that Marty coming up while people avoid therapy. 7:50. Let's get you on the road from the Brighton Ford Traffic Center. What do you got?
94 westbound, we're looking at some slower moving traffic starting now around Willow Run, and that continues off and on all the way through 23. Looks like US 12 on both sides of 23. You're going to see some slow moving traffic as well. And 14 westbound, right around Ford Road. Love some heavier traffic through there. The eastbound side, it looks like from about Barton through 23, heavier traffic there. 23 northbound to the construction starting around 6 Mile, continuing all the way up to 8 Mile. You're going to see some heavier traffic. Also on the southbound side, actually starting on 96 as you're headed towards 23 southbound. That continues down well past Lee Road now. And 96 eastbound from about Kensington all the way through Milford. You're going to see some slower moving traffic through the construction areas there. A little heavier on Main Street around downtown Chelsea and just north of that area as well. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. That's the latest from the only station specializing in your local traffic, 102.9 W4 Country.
My goodness, if you are ready to relax and unwind on the picturesque outdoor patio at Veritas in Jackson, it's nestled in the heart of downtown. Surround yourself with stunning murals while enjoying your favorite summer drink and amazing cuisine. There are still a few openings left to book your flight to a night in Italy at Veritas in Jackson on the 22nd. Veritas is hosting a night in Italy dining experience, an intimate evening of an Italian-inspired 5-course dinner, expertly paired with wines. Open Tuesday through Saturday, and Veritas now has a rewards program too. For all the details, go to veritasjackson.com.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Kickstart your imagination.
I think everybody's clear. What's that?
Crazy.
What do you got to tighten those things?
I know, but I tighten them, and like 2 seconds later, they're loose.
Paste. Deleted. No. That's not what I want.
What are you working on over there?
Just lots of stuff. Quail Ridge. 7633.
Phil O'Reilly is pro sneeze. I've just learned.
Phil, what's going on in North Dakota?
Good morning.
We're already into the song.
Yeah, that happened pretty quickly.
I did.
Oh, excuse me. up today.
You have to get up at what? Like Madison, you'd probably get up earlier,
Yeah, I
right?
got up so late.
We both got up super, super late
Like
today.
40-ish minutes later than I normally get up.
Oh boy, you look nice.
I mean, I made everything happen
Yeah.
as best I could.
Mhm.
Some of those days when I want to sleep in a little extra, I'll just bring like my makeup to work with me, and then I'll do that.
I haven't woken to an alarm, and God, I don't remember. I guess vacation I had to get up with an alarm, but that was I rarely do that.
Must be nice, Marty.
Well, getting up early is nice too. If you can do it.
I like getting up early because I like getting out early.
That's right. But how hard is it some days? Because like, aren't you really getting up at like 4:30 or something?
My alarm goes off about 4:30, between
Oh my
4:30,
God.
depending on what's going on.
The first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't always get up right then.
Oh yeah, I don't wake up with my first alarm at all.
No, you want to have a little bonus. Like you want to feel like you're getting something, getting away with something. So
Gotta have those snooze.
yeah.
Snoozes.
But it is nice. It's quiet. Like I bet Dexter's nice. You walk out and barely anything's going, and it's nice to look at. All right.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Yeah. There's not usually a whole lot going on. If there's someone, every once in a while there'll be like an early morning runner when I'm leaving or something, and I think we both startle each other at that point when we walk out the door. I'm not used to seeing people.
Well, during the COVID lockdowns, that was how Dexter was. You know? I was still going to work, but hardly anybody else was, and so it was like a ghost town.
I miss flying during COVID.
Because nobody else was doing it.
Nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
First class upgrades, baby, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or Venice in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Just how empty the square was.
Mm-hmm. And how busy other places were, other areas were, I couldn't imagine.
Right.
Being there at a normal
That we still were
time.
packed in like sardines on one of those water taxis.
Mm-hmm.
And no wonder everybody got COVID there first.
I don't think Italy's the worst example of overpacked.
Well, they were one of the
mass
first
transit.
like countries to shut down.
I know, but
I
think
just remember being on that boat thinking, "Oh, this is why." I get it now.
if that's your metric, though, like you've seen trains in India.
I haven't been on one.
I have.
Yeah.
It's the most bougie I've ever been in my life, where I yelled at the conductor and I said, I need to sit in first class now. With like 6 backpackers and the look they gave me, but it was like, oh, it was 1,000 degrees in there. I was done. Here we go. 102.9 W4 Country, and she's everything. It's Brad Paisley, 7:56. We got the Monday morning jumpstart with Marty. We're talking about the top excuses people give for not getting therapy. Number 1, they're too busy. Number 2, there's nothing wrong with you, for which we can assure you there most definitely is.
I love you.
Tell you what, if you want to be diagnosed in a non-medical way, sit down with me. I'll tell you what's wrong with you. Let's grab a cup of coffee.
He's been searching for flaws for decades.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's where you start with Dr. Marty. This is your unofficial prescription. What's number 3, Marty?
Number 3, going to therapy means that I'm weak. I'm a weak person. Okay.
What's
Does
an
that sound?
defeat that you can't handle?
Exactly. Yeah, but that's pride, and we want to be humble. It's healthier to be humble, and life is tough. Look, man, it's tough. I don't have to go through all the things that have happened to us recently. It's tough. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. What's number 4, Marty?
I can't be seen coming out of your office, Dr. Marty. It'd be embarrassing. I wouldn't want anyone to know that kind of
Let's
thing.
say you're coming out of the real estate office then. Who's going to be sitting there watching your door?
Well, that's not. Here's what I find though, because I was like that too when I was being treated for something. And at first, it's like, okay, keep your head down. But then, as I started getting healthier, I would be happy to see somebody because it means that they're getting the help that they need. And and I got over myself a little bit and admitted life can be tough, and everybody needs some help sometimes.
I noticed that in like the waiting room. If I make eye contact with somebody, they're usually like,
I know.
away.
Yeah, like what's your damage?
Yeah.
The stigma that's like at any doctor's office too,
Sure.
where it's like, well, why did you have to go to the doctor? You're not
Uh-huh.
strong enough to not get sick.
Well, I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
urologist or something, yeah, it would be weird.
Well, but also like people have problems with you know that part of the human body.
Or it's just a regular checkup that people do.
Yeah, or to stay in front of something.
Yeah.
All right, more with Dr. Marty.
People do that.
I'm aware.
Bubs.
I'm aware.
You're supposed to do that. Preventative health, they call it.
People do, I don't. It's 7:59. Let's find out what's going on in the Brighton Ford Traffic Center. What do you got?
Some slow-moving traffic. Let's start with 127 southbound, just ahead of 94. You're going to see some slow-moving traffic starting a bit north of Parnell Road, continuing all the way down to 94. We also have some heavier traffic on Main Street around downtown Chelsea and a little bit closer to 94 there on M52. Some heavier traffic on Michigan Avenue, off and on around downtown Saline, and then right around 23, it's pretty slow-moving on both sides there, and pretty slow-moving at Michigan Avenue and Platte as well. We have some heavier traffic starting around on 94 westbound, starting around Willow Run, and that continues off and on towards Michigan Avenue, and then it's slow moving right through 23. 14 westbound, we have some slower traffic right through Ford Road. We have some heavier traffic on the eastbound side from Barton to 23. Northbound 23 from about North Territorial now, continuing almost all the way up to 8 Mile Road. You're going to see some heavier or slow-moving traffic through the construction areas there. 23 southbound, we have slow-moving traffic. It's actually starting on 96 as you're headed to 23 southbound. It continues almost all the way down to Silver Lake Road, and then heavier traffic on 96 to construction areas eastbound from Kensington all the way to Milford. If you have a tip for us, 734-623-1029. That's the latest from the only station specializing in your local traffic, 102.9 W4 Country.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
If the weather calls for...
Everybody's clear.
Super
It matters to her. It stays on her mind.
So, what's the secret behind wait 45 minutes before sipping your first coffee? Wouldn't it get
There's
cold?
a secret behind that? Because I leave it cold on the counter so I can guzzle it the second I wake up.
I mean, you're getting the caffeine later.
The idea is
I've heard this before.
when you wake up, your body is producing cortisol to wake you
Yep,
up.
that's true.
And so the coffee is working at the same time as your own body is trying to
Natural.
wake you up. So you're saying the coffee is not providing any additional benefits really at that point.
Maybe even stressing you out more than you
Right.
wanted.
So if you wait beyond that initial wave of cortisol and then have some coffee, it's supposed to be more effective.
I always drink a water too before I drink coffee.
Yep.
Hmm.
I do that on days I'm feeling responsible.
I do feel good when I wake up in the morning and I have a couple pills to take, and then if I chug a whole glass of water, that usually makes me feel.
I do feel better after I take my pills.
Well, aside from that, some of them are vitamins.
I had to pee in a cup recently, and it's like, I'm about to find out if my Mexican Ambien's really Ambien.
And
I don't know. I didn't test positive for fentanyl, so I'm assuming it's Ambien. Oh, it's Irish Hills Collision. I thought it said the Irish Hills Collection. I was like, what is that?
Fancy.
sophisticated.
Fancy outlet mall in the Irish Hills.
That's where I was born.
Is it?
Yeah, my parents lived on Sand Lake.
The Green Hills of
You were born in the hills?
Yeah.
That's where your family lived when you were born in a hospital.
That's where they lived when I was born in a hospital. I got to tell you, in Tecumseh. So, but that didn't sound cool. I didn't want to say that.
All right, stand by.
Road in Brooklyn and South Occidental in Tecumseh. More at irishhillscollision.com. That's irishhillscollision.com.
Breakfast with Bubba in the morning.
Well, hello. It's 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. Happy Monday. You've got the Breakfast with Bubba show with Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning. Cloudier to start with, but we should see some sun this afternoon. We're looking for highs around 80.
You're listening to WWFM and HD1 Ann Arbor. So very proud to be a Cumulus media station. We're in the middle of the Monday morning Jumpstart with Marty. Little help from Dr. Marty to make your week go a little bit better. Watch us now on W4 TV at Facebook.com/W4Country, YouTube.com/W4Country. It's the morning show that makes you feel good.
Ooh, I have to know more about what Sue's talking about.
I'm not reading anything over here. What is it? You should try the sleep gummy. Works better than I don't know. I don't know. The sleep gummy works better than that. And if it's like a gummy, I can't.
Why? Like a gummy bear?
No, if it's like a weed gummy, I can't do it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If it's cannabis, I see.
Yeah, I can't do it. I am subject to urinating in a cup on a regular basis.
I know, but it doesn't make sense. So there's something with a way worse safety profile that would be fine as long as it's prescribed. But
I don't think Dr. Wiley advocates me going on Mexican Ambien.
No, if he did, he would prescribe him Ambien. You wouldn't go to Mexico to get the
doctors. What do they know?
But every once in a while, Bubba's a little helper. I mean, there's a lot going on in my mind.
Every once in a while, but I mean, you mean every night?
Whirls. The mind just whirls. It's whirling a lot lately.
Like a dervish.
Mm-hmm. What is that line from Seinfeld? Arms flailing akimbo. Describing Elaine's dancing.
What was it?
Arms flailing akimbo.
So we've all seen Bubba, you haven't seen 42nd Street yet, have you?
I've not, no.
It just occurred to me that the doctor who diagnoses what's her name? Sarah's character.
Brock. Mm-hmm.
Diagnoses the broken ankle. It sounded like he was trying to do an impression of the rabbi who lives in Elaine's building.
Oh,
and like the very few lines that he said, it was definitely like it was a choice, and it was just like that was the immediately jumped to mind. Elaine.
That's a funny character.
He is a funny character. Yeah, I was like, you could make worse choices.
So those of you watching, I'd like you to comment here. If I host a garage sale and I have a fine sweater that was purchased for $125, lovingly cared for, and it's in good condition, what do I price it at the garage sale? Just throw out numbers.
What's good condition?
It's good condition. There are no pills.
Well, there's good, there's excellent.
I would say
there's good used condition, there's excellent used condition,
excellent
there's
used condition.
Like new condition.
Excellent used condition. Excellent used condition.
They call that EUC.
So I'll label it EUC. Don't argue with me.
Well, they can see it.
Whatever.
They'll look at the pills.
And I know the ones that have pills would go for less.
You just take a little fabric shaver to those. I'll never know that you can find them.
Yeah, we're talking about the little things of lint that form on
clothes,
right?
Not the pills.
Not like pockets full of Mexican Ambien.
See, $45.
60.
60. See, I'm liking these garage sale numbers.
No, this is what would you price it, not what would you pay for one.
Right.
That's what I'm more curious
so
about.
So those who commented 60, 45, and 20 or less, if that's what you price it for, what would you actually take for it?
Yeah, what would you take for it at a garage sale? What would be the offer that would make you say, get the hell off my property? Not yet, honey.
Okay, so less. Like $10 less.
Yeah. So 50. You know what? This is who I need to have out there. Mrs. Risden.
Yeah.
I need to have Phyllis running my garage sale.
Phyllis, are you available for hire?
You're known in the community. B, you're tough as nails,
Mhm.
and you won't put up with crap. Like the chair that I have. $5, $10. I'm fine with that.
What chair?
I've got a couple chairs. One is like a Franken chair, but it looks good from the top. And the other one,
Chair.
the other one's like a decent chair, but it's just not good. It doesn't
Which
go.
chairs are those?
They're in my garage.
Oh.
And then I have those dining chairs where you sit
Those
on
dining
wood.
chairs? I'd
Yeah.
throw those away.
Really?
Oh, good morning.
Hello,
Good
David.
morning.
But could I sell 4 of those dining chairs for $10?
Sure.
That's $10.
Sure.
I'm gonna have a garage sale. Would you like to host it with me? You'd be good at that too.
Great.
Like a carnival barker.
No, but
Oh,
David
yeah.
will let things go for whatever price people would offer.
2 pens.
Yeah.
Yeah, David wouldn't be too picky about sticking to the list price.
Yeah.
Would you buy a used king mattress that's in good shape?
Probably not.
How do I get rid of that sucker?
Donation.
Fire.
Fire?
Fire.
Fire in my backyard.
I think people would buy mattresses. I've seen those at garage sales before. As long as there isn't stains on it or anything.
I tried
Yeah.
to carry a Tempur-Pedic king-size mattress up my stairs yesterday. I didn't get it
Oh.
out of the garage. It's filthy now because I kept falling and dragging on my garage floor, and they lift it up and fall.
No, Phyllis, those chairs are not worth $10 each.
No, because you sit on them and you're sitting on wood.
You sit on them and you go
They're
right to
very
the floor.
uncomfortable. Yeah, I
They're
don't think they're 10 each, but I'd
well used.
let all 4 of them. But they look decent.
They look pretty. They are not comfortable.
They're not functional.
There's no cushion
Now,
left in them at
Phyllis,
all.
I don't know if you could put foam in there. If you're a fixer-upper, then you got some nice chairs.
Well, you've spent money,
I'm not a fixer-upper guy.
so now you have to factor that into it.
I stand by. 102.9 W4 Country. Time marches on. It's Tracy Lawrence, 8:10 in the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning with Bubba and Madison Rally.
Good morning.
And Brian Welch with the forecast.
Partly sunny and highs just topping 80.
All right, we've got Dr. Marty here, and we're talking about the top reasons people don't go to therapy. Hold on, David Moan just walked in. Do you go to therapy?
I used to.
Okay, good. You should. Point number 1 is too busy. Number 2, nothing is wrong with you. Point number 3 is going to therapy.
Means I'm weak.
Means you're weak, like my handwriting.
Who took these notes?
Number 4, I can't be seen coming out of a therapist's office. What's point number 5, Marty?
Point number 5. I tried it and it doesn't work. What do you think about that one? I tried it and it doesn't work.
That's tough because then not only have you worked up the courage to go to a therapist, now you have to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And it's a process too. And I know there can be like bad matches with therapists.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
You know,
It's worth trying them out until you find the right one.
right?
And also, look, it's a lot like hiring a personal trainer for exercise, right? You do have to work and you got to come in and work. Sometimes it is a bad match too, but, and also you're different. Maybe you tried it when you were, 14 and now you're 28, Things-
All right, what's point number 5, Marty?
point number, that is point number 5.
Oh, that
Do
is
we have
5.
a
I'm sorry.
bonus?
We have a bonus.
Yeah, we have a bonus.
What is the bonus?
Okay, the bonus is I talk to my friends or pastor or someone else instead, spouse or something. But that's not therapy, though. That's
You
conversation.
need a professional,
Yeah,
someone
somebody's
licensed.
I talk to my pastor and his eyes just get the size of silver dollars.
I mean, talk to those people too, but you need a professional.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not therapy.
Marty is good at eye control. No matter how shocked he is, he'll just sit there and just stare.
Be a really good poker player.
Yeah, let's go to Vegas and play poker, Marty. That might violate the patient, whatever with the thing we have, but make some money.
whatever with the thing we
I'm
have.
sure I signed papers that say we
Does this
can't.
say no gambling?
Say things and do
What are the
things.
rules with gambling with your therapist?
I don't know, but let's find out. You'd be a hoot in Vegas.
I don't think we ought to be gambling.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take those odds.
Probably goes towards some of my problems. Thank you, Marty. Dr.
You're
Martin
welcome.
Fletcher,
Take care.
Renew Hope Counseling. Visit him at drmartinfletcher.com. He's here every Monday with the Monday Morning Jumpstart. Our way of starting your week off just just a little bit better. Let's get to the Brighton Ford Traffic Center right now. Madison's got an update on roadways. What's up?
Let's start with 96. 96 eastbound through the construction area between Kensington and Milford. You're going to see some heavier traffic off and on, and it is slow moving right through Milford. We have some slower traffic on 23 southbound as well. That starts around 96. Eastbound actually continuing to 23 southbound down past Lee Road, actually almost all the way down to Silver Lake Road. On the northbound side of 23, we have slow moving traffic starting around 6 Mile Road. That continues all the way up to 8 Mile Road. It looks like there's some construction going on through there. Excuse me, heavier.
Okay.
Yeah. That was small as my tongue. We have some heavier traffic